It is now 7 p.m. and I would like to call to order the November 15th, 2016 business meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Aldine Independent School District. Our ethics statement tonight will be read by Mr. Steve Mead.
As part of the Reform Governance and Action, RGA, work that the board and leadership in the district have gone through, the board adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. The statement is, the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our core beliefs. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value system or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides the boards in its deliberation and decisions.
Thank you, Mr. Mead. Want to extend a warm welcome to everyone that's present tonight. We're thankful that you are going to join us as we celebrate the achievements, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Aldine Independent School District. Let the minutes reflect that all board members are present with the exception of Mr. Merlin Griggs. If you are a visitor and you wish to address the board tonight with comments, you need to fill out the audience participation form in the brochure next to the agenda books that were outside. Please do this at this time and give it to Ms. Loera, who's to my far right. The board will listen under item number 16 on the agenda, open forum for patrons to be heard. We now have a public hearing to be conducted by Ms. Ann Azan.
Dr. Tamika Alfred Stevens.
Oh, now it's Dr. Tamika Alfred Stevens. She's getting started early. The meeting of the Aldine ISD Board of Trustees to discuss the Aldine ISD Financial Accountability Rating is now open. It is now 7:02. The chair recognizes Dr. Tamika Alfred Stevens.
Good evening, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, and Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. In this hearing, we will discuss Aldine ISD's Financial Accountability Rating. This rating is also known as our School First Rating, which stands for Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas and is part of the TEA's annual accountability ratings. The primary goal of the School First system is to achieve quality performance in the management of school districts' financial resources. Additionally, the School First system is designed to encourage Texas public schools to better manage their financial resources to provide the maximum allocation possible for direct instructional purposes. This year, the School First accountability system has 4 ratings that can be assigned to Texas school districts. These ratings are superior, above standard, meets standard, and substandard achievement. Since the implementation of the TEA's School First accountability system, Aldine ISD has received the highest rating a school district can achieve. This year's Aldine ISD Superior rating is a reflection of the district's continued demonstration of high-quality financial management and reporting. I have sent each board member a copy of the report for their evaluation. Additional copies are available to the public on the front table. We will also have extra copies available for everyone not attending tonight's meeting. At this time, would anyone in the audience like to address the board concerning the district's rating of superior in the School First system? Ms. Avalos, this hearing satisfies the requirements set out in Section 109.1005 of the Texas Education Code. Thank you.
We will now adjourn the Aldine ISD School First Rating hearing. It is 7:04. And Dr. Stevens, are you going to continue with the board approval of the audit? or Mrs. Honor. Now, y'all are just trying to confuse
It's not
me.
an attempt to confuse you, ma'am. We all want to get a part of this in.
All right, the chair recognizes Anne Marie Azan.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. At last night's study session, our external auditors, Whitley Penn, presented the district's audit report for the 2015-2016 school year. At this time, I would like to proceed with my discussion of the audit.
You may proceed.
Each board member was given a copy of the audit report for the 2015-2016 school year and had an opportunity during last night's study session to ask questions of our external auditors. The audit report they presented was considered to be unmodified or a clean opinion. The auditors stated it was the highest level of assurance to be given on financial statements. I would be glad to answer any other questions the board has about the audit at this time.
Board members, are there any questions?
Heard it all last night.
If there are no questions, I would like to recommend that the audit be approved and forwarded to the Texas Education Agency as required by law.
Board members, you have heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I move that we accept Mrs. Hazan's recommendation that the audit be approved and forwarded to the TEA.
Garcia seconds.
The motion has been made and seconded. We'll begin the vote. Mr. Shanklin?
Yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, now which one of you is going to present? Okay, another switch. The chair recognizes Dr. Tamika Alfred Stevens.
Good evening again. At last night's study session, our financial advisor, Terrell Palmer, and our bond attorney, Baron Wallace, presented a proposed bond order that would allow the issuance of up to $140 million of unlimited tax refunding bonds. Since the current market has such low interest rates, this proposed order could refund Series 2003, 2007, and 2008 bonds and save the district approximately $17.8 million in future interest cost. Each board member was given a copy of the bond order during last night's study session and had the opportunity to ask questions of our financial advisor and our bond attorney. At this time, I would be glad to answer any other questions the board has about the proposed bond order. If there are no questions, I would like to recommend that the order authorizing the issuance of Aldine Independent School District Unlimited Tax Refunding Bonds, Series 2017, be approved.
Okay, board members, last night we had the opportunity to ask questions. Do we have a recommendation?
I move that we accept Dr. Alfred Stevens' recommendation that the order authorizing the issuance of Aldine Independent School District Unlimited Tax Refunding Bonds, Series 2017, be approved.
Do we have a second?
Garcia seconds.
Okay, we'll begin the vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, ladies. We will now address the minutes of previous meetings, the special called meeting of September the 28th, 2016, the regular meeting on October the 18th, 2016, and the public hearing and meeting November 1st, 2016. Item number 8 on the agenda. Do we have a motion concerning the previous minutes?
Ms. Avalos, I move that the minutes for the special called meeting on September 28th, the regular meeting on October the 18th, and the minutes of the public hearing and meeting on November 1st, 2016 be approved as printed.
Is there a second?
I second.
We'll begin the vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries. It's now time for the academic report to be given by Dr. Sarah Tomey.
Good evening, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. Denise Cordova, a junior at MacArthur High School, will attend the State Board of Education meeting in Austin this Friday, November 18th, to be recognized because she was a winner at the National History Day competition in Maryland last June. Denise is one of 8 students from across the state being recognized by the State Board this week. The University of Houston evaluates high school choir UIL concert and sight reading performances from around the Houston area each spring. They then invite the foremost outstanding high school choirs to perform with the University of Houston Moore School Concert Chorale. The Davis High School singers were invited to perform this year and did so on November the 7th. The second of 4 auditions leading to the selection of the 2017 All-State Choir was held on October 24th. Aldine high school students competed with high school students from 8 other school districts from around the TMEA Region 33 area. Aldine had 19 students continue their quest to make UIL state choir, and the next level will be the pre-area on December the 1st. Moving forward are 2 students from Aldine, 1 student from Carver, 8 students from Davis, 1 student from Eisenhower, 3 students from MacArthur, and 4 from Nimitz High School. So I will keep you posted on that. And on October 27th, Aldine had 9,717 students participate in the Every Artist's Mission to Spark Creativity. The event is dedicated to fostering creativity in children by encouraging the creation, presentation, and sharing of art. The chairman of the event contacted Dr. Michael Ann Kelly personally to congratulate Aldine. Aldine was the district that had the largest number of students participating in the country. This concludes the academic report for November 2017.
Thank you, Dr. Tomey. Ms. Bourgeois, do we have any correspondence to be read tonight?
Madam President, we have no correspondence to be read tonight.
Thank you. It's now time for recognition of staff and students and patrons. Mr. Abel Garza will present that.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Bamberg and Dr. Blanson, good evening. Today you witness a group of nervous but talented dancers performing from Nimitz Ninth dance team. Believe it or not, this is only their second performance. And here to present the group of dancers is Miss Danielle Washington from Nimitz Ninth.
Thank you very much. Good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, and Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. My name is Danielle Washington, and I'm excited to present to you the Nimitz ninth grade dance team. This is actually the first year that Nimitz ninth grade has had their own team outside from the high school. And believe it or not, this was our second performance of the year, so I'm very proud of the girls and the work that they did. I'd like to present them to you. We have our captain, Ashanti Walker, our co-captain, Asia Hawkins, Ashley Hawkins, Jasmine Iglesias, Megan Miles, Jakali Pilar, and Linasia Stokes. And thank you guys very much for having us this afternoon.
You do too.
They did a beautiful job.
And they did.
Really?
They've done this before. They got into that pose quick.
Great job.
Thank you.
Now we begin with some recognitions. Tonight we recognize 2 of our business partners. First, we want to recognize Siva Logistics. Siva Logistics has partnered with Worsham Elementary for over 12 years. They have provided junior achievement volunteers, career day speakers, and sponsorships for various school events. Doreen Berryhill and Stephanie Smith are here on behalf of SIVA Logistics to accept a small token of our appreciation and a special certificate from TASB. Please welcome Doreen and Stephanie. I'll present them like this. We thank you very much for your support with our schools. Let me take a picture.
Center.
I think one.
Hide back there.
Thank you. Our second business partner that we will recognize tonight is United Airlines. As you know, United Airlines have been major sponsors for our district. They have sponsored airfare for the Tuskegee Airmen and their families that visit our district once a year. In addition, United Airlines has sponsored our Teacher of the Year by providing airfare for our Teachers of the Year and a guest to any destination in the contiguous United States, Alaska, Canada, and the Caribbean. They also expanded their contributions this year to include a donation to the Aldine Education Foundation by sponsoring the Dollar Makes a Difference campaign. They donated a voucher for two, which was won by a staff member from Eisenhower High School. Representing United Airlines, please welcome Inelda Randall, and did Darren make it? And Darren Hall. Come on down. Just so y'all know, we only fight United around here. That helps out. Now, board members, as you know, each year, Aldine ISD ensures support for our graduating students through scholarship dollars to continue their education. Again, this year, we are pleased to provide those contributions through two partner organizations. Ms. Avalos will be presenting a $10,000 check to Lone Star College Foundation Executive Director Nicole Robinson Gaither, and their board member Seth Shar to assist our students in attending Lone Star College. I have a check for you.
A big check.
Big check.
I could use a check.
They're gonna come up here. Yeah. They're gonna come up here so you can hand it to them.
You're welcome. Thanks.
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
So you can get Rose in there.
Thank you again.
It's actually, it has Ms. Avalos' checking account on there.
Good luck.
Similarly, we also have an award of a $10,000 check for the Aldine Education Foundation, which provides scholarships to our students to attend a school of their choice. Accepting this check is from Ms. Avalos is our president, our AEF board president, Bill Ginder. And is Jeff here? Is it just Bill? Just Bill.
Just giving
It's a
away
big
money.
check.
Seth.
Need to. You're doing good, Santa.
Seth, you could write us all checks.
Yeah. You put it in your pocket, Bill.
That's the kind of donations we need to give it right back.
That's right.
We now move on to our recognitions. Ms. Dana Sheffield, Executive Director of Child Nutrition Services, will announce her team of the month. Dana.
Good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, members of the board. Child Nutrition is pleased once again to announce its Team of the Month for October, Aldine Middle School. Recognition for this particular school is very special because of a dual role and responsibility for not only their own campus, but also for breakfast and lunch meal service for Lane School. Each day, staff members prepare meals for both campuses. In addition, food for Lane is transported and served to their students. Regardless of weather, construction, or traffic, the process occurs 2 times daily. Great teamwork and personal pride for service are always exhibited by this staff. They also have an outstanding and supportive leader, Lisa Hicks, manager. She gives equal effort and visible compassion for each operation. Students and staff at Aldine Middle and Lane are very fortunate to have an outstanding child nutrition staff providing meals and service for them. Specialists include Nahala Baba, Jamie Galagas, Neridia Lopez, Ermelinda Marino, Maria Rodriguez, Ebony Stewart, Isabel Valdez, Nina Washington, Lenora Barber, Angela Smith, and Alexandria Sykes. Supervisor is Chandra Johnson. Child Nutrition would also like to thank each principal for their support. Principal for Aldine Middle is Marcus Pruitt, and Lane School Principal is Dale Prelow. Thank you, and congratulations.
Yeah. Now, Robin Daru, Executive Director of Transportation, will announce her department's Employee of the Month.
Good evening, Board President, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, honored members of the board. It is with great pleasure that I have the opportunity to introduce the Employee of the Month for the Transportation Department for the month of November. This month, our Employee of the Month is Mr. Leonard Nelson. Come on over here. Leonard drives out of our West Side facility. He has been a driver for us for 17 years.
Oh, my God.
5 of which he's had the lovely opportunity to be a sub-driver, which means every day he has a new experience and a new route to drive. And he has accepted this job very graciously and does a fantastic job. He also is in charge of all of our celebrations that we host at our West Side facility for our drivers and does an outstanding job. So if you ever get an opportunity to attend one of those celebrations, I can guarantee you won't be disappointed in the food. And at this time, we'd like to present him with his plaque. Thank you,
We will wait on that invitation to the celebration. Okay. Friday, okay. Next, Stacy Smith, Program Director of Resource Development, will announce the grants that she has, the district has received.
Sorry. Good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, administrative leadership, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to report on recent grant awards. Will Phyllis Cormier, Principal of Victory Early College High School, please join me. and accepting for her teacher, Mr. Jared Fredrickson, who couldn't be here today. So she is accepting for him. Okay. Staying current on the issues, Victory students will build literacy and discussion skills by utilizing the New York Times newspaper for weekly lessons on current issues. The weekly activities will give students a broader view of the world around them and a greater understanding of their role and how they can make a difference. This project was funded by Donors Choose, and the total amount is $428.44. So, congratulations. And the total amount for the awards given this evening is $428.44. Thank you.
Finally, Emmett Rock will present the Building of the Month. Emmett.
Thank you, Abel. Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board, it is always my pleasure. Tonight, the principal of Houston Academy was not able to join us, so Ms. Ann Stockwell has agreed to stand in on behalf of Dr. King. So here beside me is Mr. Roy Stewart. Roy is a 1.5-year head custodian at Houston Academy, and he has done an outstanding job of taking that building and just turning it around into just a very beautiful campus. So, Roy, on behalf of the Office of Buildings and Properties, it is my pleasure to congratulate you for the Building of the Month for November. Thanks for the sweat and the hard work and all of the effort. Appreciate it.
And I said finally, but actually there is one more. The Human Resources Employee of the Quarter will be presented by Dr. Robin Williams.
Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, and Dr. Blanson, and members of the board, I would like to present Ms. Tina Houston as the Employee of the Quarter in Human Resources Department. Tina began her career in Aldine in 1998. Currently, she is responsible for gathering all service records. Oftentimes, they trickle in over the weeks. She has to keep them organized, evaluate them for accuracy, and report the number of years of service an employee should be given credit for. Tina also creates service records for all outgoing employees. She is the final piece in the hiring process and often the last voice an employee hears when leaving Aldine. Tina does an amazing job with service records. Her on-time performance, accuracy, and customer service shine. We have all recognized her efforts, and tonight we are proud to award Tina the Aldine Human Resources Employee of the Quarter. Thank you for your continued service and dedication to the Aldine School District.
So that's everyone's best friend when you're getting ready to retire. Is the way I understood it. Okay. Tonight's program will be presented by Jacob Elmhorst, iTech at Irmo. He served as chairperson for the Technology and Curriculum Conference of Aldine, TCCA. Jacob.
Ms. Alros, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, I'm Brad Kaplan, and the only thing I'm here to do tonight is to introduce these folks. So this is Jacob Elmhorst. He's been the chairman of TCCA for 2 years. This is the end of his rain, so to speak. Meredith McCune was the brainchild behind collecting all the money. She was in charge of vendors. We collected nearly $55,000 to put an event on. And this is Bradford Harris, and he'll be introduced to you at the conclusion. So Jacob, take it away.
Good evening. Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, members of the board. We're going to, if our screen is ready. Of course, technology is always an issue. But we just wanted to give you a little information about TCCA and the event that, like I said, we've worked to put on for the last couple of years. And so we're going to start with our video that Chad Cochran put together for us, just kind of highlighting some of the things at the conference this year, and then we'll go over a few other things. Sorry. I was trying to hit full screen, but. Yeah. As you can see, we like to try to have a little fun with it. It is a lot of work putting on the conference, and like Brad said, we raised over $55,000 to put on this conference. And here's just some of the numbers in the past years. So it was started in 2011 by Josh Hicks, who is the iTech at Carver now, and there was about 300 people in attendance, which we thought was pretty good at that point. And every year it has continued to grow. And so you can see over the years from 300 to 600 the next year, and then 1,100. So I mean, we're going 300 to 500 in attendance every year. And so, and then this year we had about 2,400 in attendance. And so, we're working to continue that and continue that growth. And it has become a nationally known conference. And, when we talk to some people at other conferences, they're like, you guys are from Aldine, you put on that conference there. So, it's making a difference, not just in our district, but in, other districts as well. And so this year we had 59% of the attendees were from Aldine, 41% were from outside of the district, and we had 70 total districts in attendance. So 80 vendor booths, 277 sessions throughout the day, presented by 174 different presenters, over $10,000 in door prizes. And like I said, $55,000 was raised to fund the event because lunch is provided for free along with all the door prizes to all the attendees. And we do have some lunches left over each year, and we always donate those to a local church or Star of Hope to help feed some of the families in need. And Bradford is here. He's going to talk a little bit about social media, how it has affected the conference and promoted it. And then Bradford is taking over. He's the chairman for next year, and he'll give you a little bit of information about the conference for next year.
Good evening. Social media has had a huge impact, not just for TCCA, but for our district as well. As you can see, as of November 7th, we have over 2,000 followers on our social media. We are using the chat, hashtag TCCA chat, not just for our conference, but we're going to start using that all year to promote what we're doing, not just with technology, but as what we're doing to integrate in the district as well. We are reaching about 85,000 Twitter accounts. Doesn't mean they're necessarily following us, but they know what our district is doing, especially with integrating technology. And we are also making about 142,000 impressions, which means that when we are tweeting, when we are sharing, people are noticing what we're doing in the district. So our next year's theme is going to be called Quest, Leveling Up Learners. We have a lot of things planned for the next conference. It will be at Davis. And the theme behind Quest is we're integrating new things with our department each year. So with that, we're going to take our district on a journey. We're going to be leveling up with our technology. Things have been put in place that we started out in August with integrating Chromebooks and panels. And so we're going to continue that mission for next year's conference.
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to attend the conference, and it was incredible. I've never seen a group of teachers be so enthusiastic about where they were on a Saturday, in a school building. That's true. And it was very well organized, and I thought it was great. The only thing I'm worried about is that we're outgrowing the facility, and with attendance growing, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. But thank you very much for the work y'all are doing.
President Avalos, that completes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Garza. The board has had the consent agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the consent agenda items to be voted on by the board tonight? Do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
I move that all items A through I on the consent agenda be approved as printed.
Is there a second?
Ogden, second.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Need yes?
Bourgeois, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Motion carries. We now have a report of the administrative staff. Dr. Bamberg, do you have any staff recognitions for tonight?
Yes, ma'am, we have several. I'd like to start tonight with Latanya C. Bernard, who is moving from a science academic lead teacher in Humble ISD. There she is. And she's coming to us from Humble ISD as our new program director of middle school science and has already started work. She has a Bachelor of Applied Arts and Science from Lamar University in General Studies, which she received in 2000, a Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of Houston, which she received in 2013. She began her school district experience in Beaumont ISD. She was at 2 elementaries and at a science and medical technical magnet, teaching science and reading, science and history, and also 6th and 7th grade science. And so Miss Bernard has 16 years of experience, and this will be her first year of experience in the Aldine School District. And did you bring anyone to introduce to us tonight? No, I did not. Okay, but I do see you have some curriculum friends in the audience, so welcome to you. We're very happy to have you. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to recognize Stephanie Knight. She is moving from a math skills specialist in K4 from Raymond Academy to the program director of intermediate math. She has a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from University of Montana, which she received in 2003, and then a Master of Education in Administration and Supervision from University of Houston in 2015. She began her teaching experience in Aldine in 2004, and she has been at Raymond Academy all this time as a first grade teacher, a third grade teacher, and then a fourth grade teacher before becoming the math skills specialist. So Ms. Knight has 12 years of experience with all of those years in the Aldine School District. And I do know that you brought some people to introduce to us tonight. Welcome and congratulations. So we're very excited to have you in your new role. Thank you. Next, we have Wynn Bowie, moving from Director of Technology Web Services here in Aldine to Executive Director of Technology Innovation and Initiatives. Mr. Bowie received his Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy in 1995 from St. Joseph Seminary College, his Master of Education in Educational Technology Leadership from Lamar University in 2014, and he has all of his years of experience here in Aldine. Started in 1999 as a history teacher then at Grantham, and then became the technology specialist at Grantham, then moved to senior web programmer in technology services in 2007, and webmaster from 2010 to 2012 before moving into his current role as Director of Technology Web Services. So Mr. Bowie has 17 years with Aldine ISD, years of experience, and all of those years in Aldine. And I believe you brought your family to introduce to us tonight. Very good. Congratulations. Next, we have Dominic Tong from Director of Technology Services. There he is. To Executive Director of Technology Infrastructure and Engineering. Mr. Tong has a Bachelor of Business Administration and a major with a major in Management Information Systems from the University of Houston, which is 1993. And before he came to the education field, he worked as a technology officer for J.P. Morgan Chase Bank from 1996 to 2006. And then he joined Aldine as a software engineer in 2006 and stayed in that role till 2012 before he moved into his current position. So he has a total of 20 years of experience, with 10 of those years in education in Aldine ISD. And you're standing there by yourself, but did you have anybody you want to introduce to us tonight? You have everybody. Okay, and I know there are many people around in the technology field who support you. So congratulations. It's nice to see you tonight. And next we want to recognize Akila Willery, who is moving from Program Director of Instructional Technology to Executive Director of Instructional Technology Integration. She has a Master of Arts in History, which she received from University of Houston in 1996, and a Master of Arts in Curriculum Instruction with a major in that master degree in Instructional Technology, which she received from University of Houston in 2003. Now, Ms. Willery also has all of her years of experience in Aldine. She started as a history teacher at Aldine Ninth in 1998, and then she worked as an ITech in several campuses at Wilson Academy, at MacArthur ninth grade, and then moved over to Davis ninth grade as they opened that school. Is that correct? And then she also did some time as a credit recovery coordinator when she moved to the district level in 2013, before moving into her role as the program director of instructional technology. So Ms. Willery has 19 years of experience, all of those years in Aldine ISD. And I know that you brought some people to introduce to us tonight.
I did. Well, they surprised me. I didn't know they were coming. But my parents, Shirley Jones and Ron Jones.
Welcome and congratulations to you. Next, we want to recognize Dr. Thomas Halbert, who is moving from the Business Technology Department Chair in Cy-Fair ISD in Cypress Creek High School to Assistant Principal at MacArthur High School. Dr. Halbert has a Bachelor in Business Administration, which he received from Gonzaga University. Did I say that correctly? And received that in 1982. He has a Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of Houston, which he received in 1985, and his Doctorate of Education in Professional Leadership, also from the University of Houston in 2014. Lots of University of Houston folks here tonight. Lots of experience with Dr. Halbert in the Cy-Fair School District. He started in 1991 as an Algebra 1 team leader and also was the computer science team leader at Cypress Creek High School with his experience there in Cy-Fair, and the Cisco Net academic administrator at Cy-Fair, Business Technology Department chairman, and then the STEM endorsement coordinator. That's an interesting title. We'll have to talk about that one. But we're glad you came to Aldine. You have 32 years of experience, but your first year of experience here in Aldine for this school year. So congratulations, and I believe you brought some people to introduce to us tonight. That's right. That's right. And your personal photographer and videographer? That is great. That is great. And I see you also have Dr. Mullenix here to support you too. Yes. Yeah. Note to self, that's always a good thing to do. But anyway, welcome and congratulations, and welcome to all your family to us, joining us tonight. And then we also want to recognize Dr. James Bishop, who is moving from assistant principal in Cy-Fair. 2 scores from Cy-Fair tonight, I just want to point out. Who's moving from assistant principal at Cy-Fair ISD Bang Elementary to assistant principal at Eisenhower High School. And Dr. Bishop has a Bachelor of Science in Health and Physical Education, which he received from Huron University in 1996, a Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction from Walden University, which he received in 2004, and a Doctorate of Divinity from St. Thomas University, which he received in 2011. And he comes to us with a lot of experience, but he started in Aldine back in 1999 as a reading teacher at Aldine Middle School, and was also a physical education teacher at Reed. And then he decided to do some moving around and some exploring. And he went to as a physical teacher and coach in Houston ISD and also at Conroe. And then he became, in Willis ISD, became an assistant principal at Lucas Middle School and Hardy Elementary. So he is joining us with experience as an assistant principal to Eisenhower as an assistant principal. He has 17 years of experience in education, and 3 of those years are in Aldine. And so welcome back, and I'll tell you what I tell everybody, one time. We take you back one time. Okay? No, we're happy to have you, and we appreciate it. And so I believe you brought some people to introduce to us tonight. That's right, okay.
We're about to have Jasmine Bishop, my daughter, Lucia, and 8th grader Jaden Bishop, and my wife, Brenda Bishop.
Very nice to have you. Congratulations. And Ms. Avalos, that concludes our recognition of staff assignments tonight.
I'd like to go back a little bit. We had a report about the superior rating for our financial status, and I see that you have some people from your department that are here who I'm sure have worked hard and have made that possible. Would you like to introduce them, Ms. Dr. Stevens?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Ms. Avalos. Tim Mamanyi, who's the Executive Director of Finance, that's over there smiling. Tim, would you please stand? And Alexia Rogers, who's one of our accountants. Again, these are two of the several accountants that we have that help make everything work and keep our district fiscally responsible. So thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. Each year, the board reorganizes in December with a new president, vice president, secretary, and assistant secretary to serve as officers for 1 year. In November, the board nominating committee presents a slate of officers for approval by the full board in the regular business meeting. In past years, members on the board have served as officers on a rotation basis so that each board member has a term for each office. Most school districts do not follow this practice, but instead have the nominating committee present a slate for approval that is based on nominations for each office. This year, our trustees will depart from the rotation for officers to nominations from committee members based on board members' skills and availability for the position for the upcoming year. I would like to call on Mr. Paul Shanklin, Acting Committee Chair, to share the report of the Trustees Nomination Committee and the board officers for 2017.
The nominating committee members were Mr. Merlin Griggs, he's the chair of the committee, Mr. Rick Ogden, and myself, Paul Shanklin. The committee unanimously recommends the following slate of officers for your approval. For President, Dr. Viola Garcia, Vice President, Ms. Rose Avalos, Secretary, Mr. Steve Meade, and Assistant Secretary, myself, Paul Shanklin.
Do I hear a motion regarding the slate of officers?
Madam President, I move that the slate be elected as our Board of Trustees officers for the new year.
Madam President, I second the motion.
Okay, we'll begin the vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Yes.
And yes?
Avalos, yes.
And the board chose these officers over me. This is my year to be the vice president, and I'm being disrespected by the board, and I would like the public to know. This was my rotation to be the vice president.
It's for time for vote, Ms.
I am out of order, but so is the board.
Ask again.
Well, do you have a vote?
Did I make one?
You either vote yea or nay or abstain. Thank you.
Meade, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Okay. Motion passes.
You
We
people are
have
terrible.
received this letter from Mr. Ogden, and a letter from Mr. Ogden that he's going to read now.
Letter dated today, November 14. It's from myself through Dr. Bamberg, Superintendent of Schools, to Ms. Rose Avalos, Board President, Ms. Patricia Bourgeois, Secretary, Mr. Merlin D. Griggs, Senior Assistant Secretary, Mr. Steve Meade, Member, Mr. Paul Shanklin, Member, Dr. Viola M. Garcia, Member, and the subject is resignation from position 4 of the Aldine ISD Board of Trustees. Dear friends, appointed in August 1990 to fill the unexpired term of Mr. Walter Stovall and elected in January 1991, it has been my privilege to serve Aldine ISD as a part of the team of 8 for more than 26 years. In addition to the current board members, my fondest memories are centered in working with fellow trustees who work together to create the best possible education environment for our students, administration, staff, and support staff. 3 superintendents with whom I shared a journey of student-centered focus, Mr. M.B. Sonny Donaldson, Mr. Nadine Kujawa, and Dr. Bamberg, as well as Deputy Superintendent Dr. Archie Blanson, made my job as a board member not only memorable, but joyous. These incredible education professionals, supported by a stellar cabinet and numerous educators and teachers, helped to make Aldine a district of distinction, as well as a model for other school districts to follow. Last December, following triple bypass surgery, I began to reflect on priorities and determine that this season in my life must be totally devoted to my beautiful, steadfast, and loving wife, Charlotte, our 4 children, their spouses, our 9 grandchildren, our 3 great-grandchildren. It was during this time of introspect and evaluation that I knew God prompted me to listen to him for direction. Therefore, it is with total peace that effective November 15, I conclude my service as a member of the Board of Trustees and also as a director, Board of Trustees for Aldine, also as a director of the Texas Association of School Boards Risk Management Fund Board. Much work has been done by the board in the past. A coveted Magnet Award recipient, Outstanding School Board of Texas designee, and the Broad Prize winner, which was a result of our work as a part of a cohort trained by the Broad Foundation and the Center for the Reform of School Systems. Currently led by our board attorney, Ms. Kay DeWalt, significant strides have been made in policy reform, aligning policy with practice and streamlining our online policy initiative. The board also adopted changes to our board operating procedure to ensure transparency and a smooth transition of leadership. Our latest team effort is to explore designating Aldine ISD as a district of innovation. To that end, I am more than confident that a servant leader will emerge to help Aldine ISD celebrate her noble past, be part of an emerging present, and lead her to her future. My life's verse is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And that's from Jeremiah 29:11. And I respectfully submit this to the board.
Board members, do I hear a motion regarding Mr. Ogden's resignation?
Ms. Avalos, I move that we accept Mr. Ogden's resignation. I do that with regret. 26 years of service, Mr. Ogden, to this school district. We know has benefited the district, and we appreciate very much the service that you've provided, and look forward to hearing of your rest and family activities.
Is there a second? Mr. Shank?
Second the motion.
I move that,
We'll take the vote.
oh, that's right. We'll begin with Mr. Paul Shanklin.
Before I vote, I would like to give my great honor to Mr. Ogden for being a mentor to me in my short term here. And the board, I assure you, that the board will work very diligently to stay with the standards that you've created. Shanklin, yes.
Ogden, yes.
It's very bittersweet news because we are going to miss you, but we also respect what you feel like you must do. I thank you for the standards of professionalism that you have displayed and that you have modeled for us. I think you broke the barrier for Aldine ISD's school board members to get involved at the state level. And we're continuing to be actively involved and now moving into the national level. I have a great deal of respect for you, and we will see you around.
Yes, ma'am.
And I vote yes.
And Rick, you know how I feel about you, and we talked last night, and I'm so proud to have known you and A.W. Jones and yourself and Viola Garcia have been my mentors to help me on the board. It's been a pleasure serving with you on the board for 11 years, and you're a fine Christian man, and it's shown in all your actions that you performed on the board. You're so respected in our district, and you're so respected in the state. And you've always, the main goal has always been what's best for the children and our stakeholders, and you will surely be missed.
Thank you.
And we wish you well as you spend more time with your wife and your kids and your grandchildren. So God bless you and good luck in whatever you do.
Thank you.
And I vote yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries. We have accepted Mr. Ogden's resignation, which means that we will need to find a replacement for his position. We have a selection committee established and in place, and that committee will now need to act. The board selection committee consists of Mr. Paul Shanklin as chair, along with Dr. Viola Garcia and Mr. Steve Mead. Each time the board selects a new member, we must adopt the procedures that will be followed. In the last selection process, the board received applications from various individuals, which were screened by the members of the selection committee. After interviews and home visits, the committee submitted 3 applicants for the whole board to interview, and the final selection came out of those interviews. Last night, we were provided handouts with information from our board operating procedures, pages 30 and 31, and some items from the past when we selected a board member. We also received the applicable statutes for your review. Remember that since Mr. Ogden is resigning, he will remain as a participating member of the board as a holdover until his replacement is found. Mr. Ogden's term is up, would have been up on November 2017, so the person chosen will run for the position in the next election. After our discussion last night, the following procedures were proposed. It is the responsibility of this committee to interview potential board members and make the recommendation to the entire board. The committee will generate a list from the names of individuals previously provided by the community, board members, the superintendent, and others during the last vacancy created in 2014. The committee may also solicit recommendations for names of additional candidates. The committee will screen candidates for eligibility. They must be a resident of Texas for at least 1 year. They must have lived in the school district for at least 6 months, and they must be a qualified voter. The committee will meet with the superintendent to review the list of candidates, develop an interview protocol, and a list of questions to be asked for all candidates. The meeting will be posted. The chairman will contact potential candidates to determine if they are interested and to schedule an in-home interview with the committee. After preliminary interviews, the committee will submit candidates to the full board for final review. Upon completion of all interviews, the committee will make a recommendation to the full board. Do I hear a motion regarding the adoption of board member selection process?
I move that we adopt the board member selection process as stated.
Shanklin seconds.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Mead, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Yes.
This is a portion of the board meeting when the board receives input from patrons. Each person who addresses the board will have 3 minutes to speak on his or her issue. There is a clock at the podium that will notify you when your 3 minutes are up, almost up. Because of topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, board members will not answer any questions posed to them by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, please be aware that the rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. And we have received one request to address the board by Mr. Stephen Adame Sr.
Hi, thank you for your time. I am a resident of Aldine. My kids, my wife, myself, my family. Aldine is very known in the Aldine area, and we're all MacArthur graduates. One of my concerns is the 2 new schools that are going on Lauder Road. I know I can't ask questions to you guys. I just want to know where I could go find them. You have one of the schools listed as a Lauder 3500 Lauder, and the other one as 3302 Connerville. I'd like to find out what's proposed to get, how to get the kids in and out of the school. If I live in the Castlewood subdivision, and Connerville is our dead-end street. And I'd like to know if you guys are proposing to open that street, because we don't want it open. And I know, we're a small community and everything, but I'd like to know who I can talk to about that, and work something out, whatever. I know our community, we're fighting of them widening Lauder Road from JFK to Aldine Westville, because it is going to affect some of our residents. We've been going back and forth with the city and the county and all that. I just would like to know who I could talk to find out what's proposed. That is actually the school that'll be in my backyard. Aldine's got to grow, but as you know, the traffic on Lauder and Aldine Westville, it's horrible. You're coming down Westville, where I live, down the street from St. Leo. It actually takes me about 30 extra minutes to get home, by the time I get home from 5:45 to 6:15. So I just would like someone, I would like some information also about being nominated for the board. Like some information on that. I'd like to be more involved. I'm very involved in my district. I run my civic club. I run the Aldine First Responders Appreciation Luncheon every year. So I'm at the age that I need to start doing something instead of just saying, I should have. So thank you. I got 39 seconds. Sir, thank you. Just sitting here, it kind of made me feel guilty of coming up here and questioning these things from just listening to your speech, your letter there. I will take the time and apologize for the lady that walked out like that, because we do have kids here, So 21 seconds. So thank you very much. And you guys, thank you. Okay.
Thank you we do appreciate you coming forward. And after the meeting, Mr. Archie Blanson would be glad to talk with you.
I used to live on Collins, and you.
And I lived on Gaston.
All right.
I think we were the toughest street, though. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Garcia seconds.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.